have the architect. We have architect Thaddeus Irabo here. He's a youth leader, PDP, and also one of the members of PDP campaign organization in the just concluded Edo State governorship election. Architect, welcome to the program this morning on ITV. All right, now we're going to be looking at the Edo 2020 in retrospect, and also see the participation of the youth. Now, there's no doubt that even as we are celebrating the newly elected governor, we are also celebrating, the youth in Edo State, the way they came out, and of course, the way they conducted themselves peacefully in that election. Let's talk along that line, architects.
Okay, I think this is the best moment of every politician's life, where the party you struggle to work for during the electionary period comes out victorious. I want to first of all thank the governor for the way and manner he managed the state for the past 4 years, and that's why we got a lot of people coming out on this election.
Okay.
The youth body has been adequately carried along. You see, we have a young chief of staff that is in his 30s. You have a lot of young commissioners. You have a lot of youth, young local government chairmen. You can see he's a man that came out with a new order. That was why it was easy for the youth to move along with him during the campaign. And I want to also thank the youth the way they composed themselves during this election.
Okay.
Everybody thought it's going to be bloody. Everybody thought it's going to be something else. That was the prediction. But God has a way of managing it, though. God has a way of doing his thing. Election came. It was free, fair, and it was credible.
Okay. Now, you tell us. I don't know how we can sustain this kind of development because it's a new development in the States. I mean, for us to have election and it will record a high level of non-violent situation. So how do you think we can sustain this development?
I think if you look at it, not that there were a lot of provocation, even in my local government, a lot of provocation, but when your eye is on the target, you know it's not violence that will determine vote. The more you try to instigate violence, the more you're trying to provoke people. It was even giving us more votes. You can see what happened in Oba Palace. That would have changed everything. But the way Amana PDP went about it, that kills everything. And I must also give our Royal Majesty, the Oba of Benin, the role he played in calling the two camps together, appealing to them that election will come and go. But as your brother, you will always be my brother. So let's not kill ourselves because of election. And that actually helped. That actually helped to reduce the tension that was on the air. I want to really commend him, and I want the traditional institution to play more of that role. Be neutral, ensure that governance is not being tampered with in any way.
Okay.
And I think I really appreciate that.
Okay, now the next election we're going to have in Edo State is going to be in 2024. That will be after the second tenure of His Excellency Mr. Godwin Nogegase Obaseki has been completed, fully completed. That's going to be the next 4 years. So we're going to have election there. So let's begin to postulate, as we make preparations for that election, because the preparation starts today. A while ago, I asked how we can sustain this peaceful election that we now have. So let's talk along towards 2024.
I don't think it's not going to be 2024 that will be the next election. As the election is on, we're going to have council elections.
I'm talking about governorship election.
Okay, governorship. We'll have the presidential elections and all that. But if you even look at it, the beauty of it is that Edo State is gradually moving towards one-party system.
But is that good?
No, because when you have somebody that is good, when you have somebody that is fair, that's what naturally happens. You can see Edo APC sending congratulatory message to the governor. You can see the national body, the caretaker committee of the APC, the national, sent congratulatory message. So I'll be surprised if my former Oga Pastor goes to court. I think it will be an exercise in futility because this election
He has rights. He has rights to his reactions. So
yes, you have right to go, but there are times, and they said, when you remain at being too right, you become wrong. For example, you offend me, everybody say, I don't do that, don't do it. If I keep on saying, no, I will not agree, they'll say, okay, go do what you want to do. Then you become wrong. At times, you just let things go. Throw in the towel, congratulate the government, let's move our state forward. Going to court is obviously going to be a distraction. I don't know if you get it. Normally, if you are serving court process, it's you and your party that is serving. Who is serving with you? The same APC that have already congratulated the governor. I don't know if you get it. Don't think politics should not be seen as a personal thing. Don't make it personal. Elections have been conducted. INEC have already announced the winner. The election was free. The election was free. And it has even set pace. It has helped the APC. Because in a way, everybody thought Buhari was going to interfere. There were banners everywhere. Buhari handing over flag, which was totally
not everybody.
No, those were to cajole Edo people that it's going to be federal might. It was Buhari that gave me flag. I don't know if you get it. Those were things that everybody was saying that police is going to make sure Edo people vote for APC. It's going to be like AKT. We had a lot of stories.
Okay.
But
now,
at the end of the day, election came. The president gave a level field for everybody. The police, they were neutral. INEC did their job, no interference.
Okay.
And I want to also commend the president for doing this. If this is the only thing he's going to leave behind after his reign, electoral reform, I think he would have done a lot. Where the son of nobody can become somebody without knowing anybody.
Okay, now let's talk about vote buying, which formed a major allegation in this election, where we're celebrating, saying that the election was free and fair. But there are allegations, that some youths were involved in vote buying, that they sold their vote. Well, that they sold their vote, they took money, but again, they voted for who they wanted to vote for. But even at that, it's still a problem that, despite all efforts, you can still have people still selling votes. How do we disabuse that?
We cannot even say sale right now, because most people actually went to collect that money. It was our money that they stole before, so they brought it to share for Edo people. And we must thank them for that, for bringing part of the money that they were keeping with them. They actually gave it to our people. A lot of them collected that money and went to vote. They are conscious. If you look at this money, this election, it is a new order. This is actually resetting Edo. We just clicked the reset button in Edo, where money doesn't play any major role. The governor actually knew what he wanted. It wasn't about money. There was no money, funny enough. That with this stiff challenge, and we had billionaire that was saying he will use his last cover, that would have made the governor to be on panic mode and start sharing money. But there was no money. Where those people already decided, it was a decision against Godfatherian. They've already told themselves that we will not allow this to happen in Edo, where somebody can be humiliated to the lowest, and you still want Edo people to be on that same line. It was not going to happen. That's why even the PDP, that's why it was easy for us to accommodate the governor, because the man was a total gentleman. He stood his ground to the end, and it wasn't about money. So thank God people are beginning to learn that money will not make you win an election. But all the same, the few numbers they got was because of money. If not for money, it was going to be. You cannot say. No, seriously, no, you cannot say 80-20. If not money inducement from the APC, it was going to be a landslide. Not even 84,000 plus. It would have been over 150,000 plus.
Okay, let's look at youths now. Talking about the governor setting agenda for the youths, because youths actually formed a quantum number of people that voted for this governor. And of course, you are presently you are a senior special assistant to the governor, and a youth. So if you want to set agenda as it relates to the youth, so where will you start from in this next 4 years?
I think we're actually going to go into the next 4 years with all hopes high, knowing that we have a man that actually have the interest of the youth at heart. You can see our program is strictly for the youth, where youth are taken from each ward and made volunteers to work for the governor.
For the government.
From the government.
Yeah.
Let me not say the government. For the government. That they form most of the information gathering that we're using to tackle security and all that. And it's also an empowerment. Look at his cabinet, young people. That is an encouragement, and I think we're even going to take it more than that. We're going to start a lot of programs, which I know the governor is not going to say no to, because his own is to develop Edo. The governor's main concern is to ensure that our youth are gainfully employed. So there are a lot of things that is going to be playing out in the next 4 years, and you'll be surprised at the end of the 4 years, Edo State is going to remain as a one-party system, because life would have been touched. Because I've seen this plan for the youth, and I think every youth in Edo is ready to key into that plan.
Okay, now the issue of brain drain, you know, as it relates to the youth, is a major problem in the States. You have a lot of youths, they want to leave the shores of the States, the shores of the country, go to Europe, the America, and other parts of the world to earn a greener pasture. Now, how do you think the governor, what do you think the governor can do in order to really arrest the interest of these guys back home here?
I think the governor is going to empower a lot of youth, but I think it is even above the governor, because the economy in Nigeria as it is right now is at its lowest, where the economy is grounded, businesses are grounded. The governor is just trying to see how he can put this up, but there is a major thing. It's about the country. It's not just, it's just a drop of water in an ocean. You only do your part. But I think the issue of green drain is that everybody is trying to get greener pasture, because Nigeria is not the way it used to be, where you get fuel for
160 naira.
160 naira
a liter.
What business are you going to do? Do you know how much is diesel right now? How do you run your generator to produce? Things have gone so bad.
Okay.
And I think come 2023, I think Nigeria will make the same decision we just made in the
All right, I want to thank you, Thaddeus Irabor, architect Thaddeus Irabor, for finding time to talk on this program today, talking about youth's participation, Edo 2020 in retrospect. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, we'll take a short pause now for that segment. Please stay tuned.